Hello, welcome to the channel, and thanks for stopping by. Today, it's a new pedal day, and what would 2025 be without creating some content to talk about said new pedal day? So before we get into today's pedal, very quickly just go through some housekeeping. You'll find the chapters below, so you can just skip around, watch the bits of the video that you want to watch, and skip the rest. The main thing is just enjoy your stay. And then if you have enjoyed anything you've heard today, please do not forget to hit the like and maybe even the subscribe button, if you're feeling particularly zesty, that is. And if you don't want to do either of those things, then, just interact with the video, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of the pedal, the video, or just my shirt, anything like that. But it really does help both the video and the channel navigate the world of the YouTube algorithm. However, without further ado, let's get into today's pedal. So you'll know from the title, the pedal that we're looking at today, so there's not going to be a huge reveal of the mystery pedal. I think what we're just going to do is say, well, here it is. The Timmy Overdrive from MXR. Really looking forward to adding this pedal, hopefully to the pedal board and the live rig. It's not a pedal that I've had much experience with or of. It was something that was suggested to me when I said to my friends that I was looking for a pedal to replace my Zevex box of rock. So there were a couple of constraints. If I didn't want the pedal to have to go underneath the pedal board, it had to be small. That was a big thing. It had to ensure that it was going to fit around the same size as the box of rock footprint, and I didn't want anything really high gain. The box of rock I used mostly on the boost channel. I didn't bother with the drive channel. It was always the boost channel, so I wanted something that had some similar characteristics in the way that it was more of a transparent overdrive or a clean boost, rather than something that was really going to colour the tone. So they were the constraints of the pedal that I've purchased, and so this is what I've ended up with. So what we'll do is we'll do something we've not done in a little while, and that's head over to the desk with the slightly out of focus camera, where we'll do an unboxing. I will see you there. Okay, so we're over at the desk and the hopefully in focus but potentially slightly out of focus camera for the unboxing. So, we've not been here in a while, so let's see if I can remember how to do this. So here we've got what is actually a really nice outer box. So it's the MXR custom shop, I guess, rather than the MXR standard line. So here you've got the Timmy overdrive on the side. Here's a little more of the CSP027, whatever that means, and then just your standard box on the bottom. So it looks like this is a... Oh, no, it's not. And then it turns out that I couldn't remember how to open a pedal. I don't really want to break the box. Oh, okay, I was kind of right. So there we are. Okay, so there is the pedal. Let's say nice and small form. Hit the camera. So yes, I'm not rusty at these. We've got some feet that you can, I guess, stick onto the pedal. I love the fact that they've not come as standard, because having a pedal board, the first thing I do is rip all of these off. So it's quite nice that they've, rather than have them just on there from the start, it's actually optional to stick them on. A nice MXR sticker here. It's a dual peely at the back. Just a thank you from Dunlop themselves, just for the pedal and the serial number here. And we can activate this to register the warranty. It has to be within 14 days of original purchase. I might be in trouble with that because it's actually taken me a little while to be able to get one of these, due to the fact that they just kept going in and out of stock of Andertons. I think I've probably been waiting not far off 2 or 3 weeks at this point, so I don't know whether I'll be able to do that. Interesting. You'd hope so. So here you've got the user manual. Very basic. It's not pedal specific. It's just, kind of saying generally the basic makeup of a pedal. So, nice bag. Nicely folded, but not sticky or anything. So you're not breaking it to get into it. So here's the pedal. It's quite nice and light. Felt like there was something moving, but hopefully not. A nice sort of bluish finish with, it's definitely metal, but then in and out. It's not the most flush thing I've ever seen in terms of putting the pedal together, but no doubt it's not going to actually affect how the pedal sounds. The knobs feel good. They're not going to move. You know, they're not just going to be flying all over the place. There's definitely something. Not sure what's going on there, actually. And then you've got your switch here, and then your... Okay, your clip goes left or right. Don't know what that does, so we'll find out shortly. But you've got bass, volume, gain, and treble with 3 different clipping modes. So that's that, really. I may cut this out, but I'm probably just going to have a quick look inside and make sure that everything is as it should be in here, because it does sound like there's something loose. So if I find anything interesting, you'll see this. If not, I'm going to skip this and we will go and plug it in and listen to some tones. Okay, so we're over here. We're all set up and ready to go. The pedal is plugged in. It's looking great. Does it work yet? Who knows? Now, before we start listening to the pedal, let's quickly go over the other gear that we're using just as a point of reference in terms of clean tone. So starting at the guitar, we've got the Gibson Les Paul Standard. This is my 2009. I've used it in quite a lot of videos. And this has a set of the Sunbear 59 or SP59 PAFs in there. And a Monty's loom with the treble bleed circuit thing, 50s or whatever wiring it is. So yeah, that's this guitar. Then we're going through the practical patch cables into the Timmy. That's sat on a Marcus Deluxe pedalboard, and then we're going from the Timmy into the Victory V40 Duchess for the clean tone, and we are running it very clean, and it sounds a little bit like this. I think it's worth saying that for the first time, I'm actually taking a stereo direct out from the Torpedo Captor X. So I normally run mono. However, today we are running stereo, so we'll see how that sounds, whether it makes any sort of difference to the overall sound at the end, or whether it's something that actually for that extra 4% it's not worth it, and just from a production point of view we'll go back to mono. However, that's enough of me gassing. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of the mic and we'll see what the Timmy sounds like. We'll start with everything at 12 o'clock, and then we'll play from there and just see what kind of sounds that we can get. But let's get into it. As a millennial, I can't say the pedal name without thinking of that character from that adult cartoon, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, that's besides the point. So anyway, there we go. That was the Timmy. Surprising wee pedal, actually. I think it's got some great sounds in it. The EQ particularly impressed me with how much of an impact it has on the tone of the pedal itself, particularly the bass. You heard as that kind of rolled that in past sort of 2-3 o'clock. That really boosted the level, really boosted the gain. Felt like it started really hitting the amp. The 3 clipping modes is really cool. I think, as you heard, the gain doesn't really start to kick in on this pedal until, again, 2-ish. And then it's quite quick, where you go from this clean, transparency kind of boost thing to starting to hit the front of your amp with the pedal. I think it sounds great. It's a really nice overdrive. I don't want to call it sparkly. I don't know if that's the right word, but I think it sounds great. Really looking forward to pairing this, particularly with, or trying to pair this with my Klon in particular, or the Klon clone from Warm Audio. However, just in general, I think it's going to really complement the Jack and the Kraken. But this is much more of a do everything. This is much more of a kind of like cover setup thing. So that's primarily the Jack that I use for that stuff. So yeah, there's so much volume on tap. As you heard, it once we boosted the volume, it really did start to get quite loud. Again, the gain, it's a loud pedal. There's quite a lot of headroom that it adds, which is a good thing. It's good to have that on tap rather than sort of hitting the ceiling really quickly. So the 3 clipping sage is really cool. The one sort of closest to me now felt like the bass had been rolled off a little bit, which was really nice, especially on a humbucker loaded guitar. Probably should have tried it with a single coil as well, but yeah, really cool. You can probably get your sound regardless of what kind of guitar you are using on that day. Say the gain was nice. Not too much gain, but enough gain, You could use this as a transparent overdrive or your rhythm tone, or even use it as your solo boost. However you wanted to run this, I think this pedal has the capabilities and the EQ sculpting ability to really, shine in that, in any kind of context. So yeah, really impressive. There is still something moving around in there. I think. Don't know what it is. My only criticism, and it's a real small one, and I think actually it's going to be a really good thing, it's just whilst trying to create content in this kind of situation where you pedals over there and stuff, turning these with that small amount of space in there. I don't have the biggest fingers, they're a bit sausagey though, and that was quite difficult to ensure that I was turning one without potentially hitting the others. However, I do think that's going to be a good thing in terms of having it on a pedal board, especially a gigging pedal board, as it's unlikely to move if it gets knocked. So it's two sides of the same coin. They don't move, or they don't move easily, and that's difficult for when you're trying to do this kind of thing where you're stretching over because of the setup. However, when I actually get to gigging it, bits and pieces like that, it's not going to move. So I will probably be thanking them for being quite small and a little on the stiffer side. But again, that's a really small criticism, and I don't mean anything by it. That's just what I'm seeing here from an unbiased opinion. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's been a little bit helpful for those of you who may have been thinking about getting a Timmy or just want to know what they sound like. There you go. So thank you so much for sticking around if you've made it this far in the video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and maybe even leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. But other than that, I'm going to leave you alone for now. So until the next one, take care.